Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. So, it's like a reservoir. You emanate light to these people. And every time you emanate light, that cup fills, that reservoir becomes full. And then the person goes about their day, and consumes a little or even half, it doesn't matter, but doesn't consume the entire reservoir. And then again, you will send light to her. If you send the same quantum of light, that reservoir will overflow. So what happens? The moment you start sending light again, that remaining light from the previous day is passed to another reservoir, so to speak. It's as if the soul, that frequency of the soul, gains that little bit of light, and it accumulates. Every day, the remaining light accumulates in the soul. The reservoir that receives light daily, let's say the fractal reservoir, which is there in Tercera. It's his reservoir, he received the light, he spends that light and what's left goes to the soul. So that soul goes up in frequency, without even knowing it. Because many are sending light to their friends, to other people, and these other people don't even know it, but they are receiving this light. This is unconditional love. The path of that soul will depend on itself. It's like I said, if she is a soul with a good heart, who has a positive walk, she is storing a lot of frequency. Now, if it consumes that light all day long, it is parked in the same place. But you are sending the light, that's what matters. So this is what happens, when you send light to a person. So put your old enemies in that bubble. And you will see how everything that was in relation to them will end. You may even become friends again, and your hearts will become lighter and lighter. So, my brothers, the surroundings, the very light of each soul, affects the surroundings, even if it is just one soul from Tercera, it depends on its level of evolution. I'll give you an example here. Unfortunately, the cultural gap in some families is immense, because many parents come from poor families, and didn't have much chance or enthusiasm to change their lives. They grew up as a faithful mirror of their families of origin. So I'm going to give here, as an example, a couple who both came from poor families, little study, little knowledge. And then they get together, and have a son. This soul will tend to be a much more evolved soul than them, so that they can evolve. Then it will be that soul that will shed so much light, that will change the mind of this couple, so that they do not pass on to this child the concepts they had, that he was born poor, and will have to live poor his whole life. So those parents have that urge to make that child grow up. No, our son, he won't be like we were. He will get there. And they do everything for that child to evolve, because the light of that soul changed their minds. Their minds have evolved, so that they understand that they also need to evolve. And as that child grows, and they place hope in her, that she will change their destiny, that it will not be the same as their life, it makes that child go far. And what will that soul do with those parents? Both will also be evolving, because they have already changed their minds. Those souls no longer believe that they were born to be poor, because they see their child arriving where they wanted. And often this child also begins to give lessons back to these parents, and they also evolve as a human being and as a soul. Then you may ask, but what happens when generation after generation after generation, everyone stays in the same place? There are lessons to be learned. Because in that couple, going back to the same example, in that couple who believe that they were born poor, lived poor, and will die poor, many chances have already been given for them to change their path. But their belief is so great that a soul exactly like theirs will come. And they will continue to think, I was born poor, I live poor, I will die poor. And the children in the same way. And then that limiting belief is perpetuated within that family. Of course, the process is not that simple. There are lessons to be learned, which weigh in on the decision of which soul will incarnate and where. Not everyone who is poor today has been poor their entire life, quite the contrary, many have been extremely stingy, extremely merciless towards others. So they return to this life, to feel everything they caused, with the most extreme poverty, to learn their lesson. So my brothers, when you come together and produce a child, knowing which soul to turn there is a big unknown. Because it will depend on the father's journey, the mother's journey, the lessons they both have to learn, because that soul that comes there will teach a lot of things, but the father and mother also have the obligation to teach a lot of things, to pass on good values, to pass on good habits, and not distort that soul. Remember, you have human consciousness in front of you. Then an evolved soul can even come and grow in an extremely negative environment. It will take that soul to be very evolved, not to get involved, but the vast majority get involved and come out the other side. This also happens. So knowing what soul will come in your baby, no one can know. A sick child may come, a defective child may come. Why? Someone has a lesson to learn there. You don't understand, but your soul understands why it is going through that. So the main foundation of today's video, which I hope you understood, is the difference in frequency between souls. Evolved, extremely evolved souls have a very high frequency. Fractals here from Tercera are something else. I'm talking about the soul. Third souls have a third frequency, but they also have levels. The frequency it is a frequency band, and within it, there are several levels of evolution. So this explains why there are many disagreements between people. Sometimes you look at a person and you don't like it, they don't know it, they've never seen it, but when they look at it they don't like it. Why? Why does this happen? There could be two reasons. The first, you are a low-frequency soul, don't understand low frequency as negative, please, I'm not talking about that here. Coming back, so you are a low-frequency soul, you are looking at an extremely evolved soul. And you're that poor soul, who doesn't want to leave your place, you're right there sitting in your corner. So you're angry, you don't immediately like that other person who comes there, even though you don't even know them, but your souls change. And then, that is so strong in the soul, that it passes into your human consciousness, and you say, I don't like that person. Why don't you like it? Is there an explanation? This is the explanation. Or, the second possibility, you are an extremely evolved soul, and you see that other person there as a threat, because you are not a soul of light. So you feel, as you don't interpret, the feeling that comes from the soul, you say you don't like it, but it is a danger sensor, there is a soul there that is not evolved and quite negative. So this is how you start to dislike people. There are two possibilities. Can I even say that there could be a third? It's that person who doesn't like anyone, judges them by their appearance. She looked, I didn't like it. Because her appearance didn't please you, you already judged and condemned her. And you thought it would be good to say that you don't like that person, that is, you don't want that person near you, because I'm too good for that person. That's it, that's what you feel. So my brothers, you can see that if we placed all of you, by soul frequency size, you would make a big ladder. There are those that are very short and there are those that are extremely tall. It would be an interesting graph. In terms of quantity, I can say that those lower frequencies have a huge plateau. The higher ones have much less quantity. And that's what we want to change. We want many of those who are still in low frequencies to reach third frequencies, so that ascension is possible. That's our goal, and teaching you to place them in the bubble of light, this is fantastic, because it is giving these souls the opportunity to store that little quantum of light energy, every day. And their souls evolve in frequency. So as time passes, at any moment they may awaken. Because it will reach such a level that it will push that soul towards awakening. So realize what you are doing. Do you understand how important it is to involve people in light? Do you understand now? So do it. This is an act of pure love. Then, when that moment arrives, when the wheat is separated from the chaff, you will be able to say, I did my part, I did what I could, I sent love and light to him every day, and he threw it away, he literally took the light reservoir and threw it in the trash. So it didn't have enough frequency to evolve. And he will go away, but your conscience, your heart will be calm, because you will be sure that you did what you could, that you did everything that was possible. But it was the choice of that soul, it was not ready for so much light. So my brothers, this is the great teaching. Send light to everyone. If you don't know everyone's name, don't remember, it's okay. Remember that I taught you to put them in a large auditorium. So everyone sit there. You don't need to repeat everyone's name every day. Create a great auditorium in your minds and feel the people there. Then they will sit in your mind. The next day, when you go to send the bubble of light, you will see everyone sitting. You know where everyone is sitting, because you put them there. And that's what I said, there may be some who will get up, don't insist, don't sit him down again. Did you get up? The universe is already telling you that light does not enter there. He wants to stay here. Understand? It's not that he's a negative or evil person, he's just not ready to evolve. She doesn't want to evolve, she wants to stay where she is. It's her right. So everyone sit down in that grand auditorium. Your families are big, do you know everyone? No, they don't. So you can put the one you know, and his descendants, you leave a row for his descendants. You don't know who they are, but in your mind they are the descendants of that relative of yours, that friend, and they will all be sitting there, because the light will know how to reach everyone, because you said so and his descendants. And you don't need to repeat it, everything the next day. Always visualize that stage, see all the people sitting there, because you put them there. It's a large auditorium, not small, so you can absorb as many people as possible. So put so and family members, he is a friend, so and family members, and leave an empty row. All the family members will be sitting there. Then place each one in a row in your auditorium. It's a big auditorium, I already said, and everyone is sitting there. So the more people you put in this bubble of light, the more you will help these brothers evolve, because every day they will gain a little bit of energy, of light, and they will increase their frequencies. So do it. Ah, how will the light reach the relatives? My brothers, you are all connected. One thought is ideal. The great bubble of light will act on everyone there, then that one's relatives will be sitting there. Some may even see them without even knowing them. Do it with faith. Do it believing that the light will get there. If you do not believe this, then only include those you know, but whoever believes, can ask for his family, and everyone will be sitting there. The light will know how far to reach. It's as if the one you know is a generator, and when you say, your family members, he will spread the light to everyone he knows, because he knows who his relatives are. Then he will spread that light. Through him the light will reach everyone. No, it will not arrive subdivided, it will arrive with the same intensity. This is quantum. So my brothers, do this. Don't just cry for those you think won't evolve. Act. Act on them. That's what I said, this is not an invasion of free will, this is the role of each soul, to evolve those around it. So do this, and you will have the conscience and the calm heart, which worked in everyone, and if it doesn't happen, it's because it was their soul's decision. I am Archangel Michael. I am here, always ready to help you on this journey, and I believe that the reservoirs of most of you here have been very full throughout the day.